Nobody really tells you what to expect when you blow up your life at 27 and end a 6-year relationship. I promise you, you are going to have to deal with, except you already, like have another relationship that you're going to just sort of like get right into, which is something that I do not recommend because I feel like there should be a period of grief where you mourn the life that you thought you had with that person or you were going to have with that person. Like, get rid of your own personal baggage before you get into a new relationship. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Najite Anira, and if you're not, welcome back. This was intended to be a celebratory vlog because we have just crossed 100 subscribers. Thank you all so much for sharing. Thank you all so much for subscribing. I wanted to talk about navigating loneliness and grief in my late 20s, which is something that has been weighing like very heavy on my mind. But nothing prepared me for the loneliness in this phase. It also made me sort of understand myself a bit better, understand my attachment style. I'm learning to deal with, discomfort. Loneliness is a very uncomfortable feeling. Trust me, it is. I mean, like, there's the piece of not worrying about what somebody else is doing, being responsible for somebody else, but it's also like I also need somebody to talk to sometimes. I can't be talking to myself. But I think what this period is really teaching me is that there are so many more layers to me as a person. I also got to learn that what did I learn? Do I want to share this? No, I don't want to share this. As a lot of you know, I recently ended a long-term relationship and it's been 6 months since that happened, and this is me sharing like my experience post breakup. This is also not a how to deal with it video or how to get your life together video. It's, if for anything, it's more like a conversation between you and me, because I'm also, like working through it myself and trying to figure out and make sense of whatever it is that I'm dealing with at the moment. I think in our late 20s, we're expected to feel more accomplished, more organized. We are expected to feel like we have everything sort of like sorted out or figured out, which is crazy because as you start to get closer to 30, you realize that, oh my god, the life that I thought that I was building and sort of like dreaming and fantasizing about is not the reality, especially when you've not been putting in the work, like you've not been doing the things you say you're going to do. If you're lucky enough to wake up at like 25 or 26 or late like me at 27, I realized that the life I thought that I was building for the past 5 or 6 years was not the life that I wanted to live, and then I had to sort of like blow that life up and now start all over again. But what no one really tells you is that this part of your life gets really, really lonely. Your parents consider you to be an adult, so they don't really check on you as much. Your friends are busy because they're also figuring out life for themselves, so nobody really has time to hang out anymore. It's different from when we were in secondary school or when we were like in uni, where we could go to class together, go to church together, go and watch a movie together. Now everybody's just either in different parts of the world, different parts of the country, different parts of the state, or they're just really dealing with other things that are also important to them. Some people are dealing with grief, some people are dealing with the loss of a job, people are dealing with so much, and the standards to which we are measuring ourselves are quite higher now, and the resources that we have to achieve the goals that we thought we could achieve with this limited period of time unreasonably scarce, which means there's a lot more pressure on us to have it all figured out than there needs to be. People move away, friendships grow, you outgrow yourselves, you move, and that can leave you wondering, where do I belong? Which is kind of where I'm at right now. I'm really thinking, like, where do I really belong? For grief, when it comes to grief, a lot of us are really dealing with grief in different contexts. It could be the loss of a loved one, it could be ending a relationship, it could be moving cities, it could be grieving the life that you had actually, and now having to start all over from scratch. I'm kind of dealing with equal parts of both, which is why I'm making this video. Why are we even talking about this? because loneliness and grief are things that we carry quietly in our 20s, because sometimes it's often stigmatized because people are just like, oh my god, why are you admitting to being lonely, or why are you admitting to being sad? But just like every other emotion that we feel, loneliness is valid. For me, the biggest shock was how like friendships changed in this phase of my 20s, because I figured that we'll still be kids doing things together, running errands together, but now everybody's busy. Everybody is focused on how to build something or what they're doing, their own goals, their own dreams. And the best we can hope for ourselves is to be included in these plans, or even make time to include ourselves in the lives of others, like just randomly showing up to your friend's apartment, making a call, texting your friend, trying to include your friend in something that you think that they would like. If you're going for a walk, you can say, oh hi, I want to take a walk, do you want to come with me? Or hey, I'm having a movie night at my place, I would like to have you over. But the only reason why I would never show up for something is either because I'm not feeling well, but I like to be invited to stuff. And even though I'm not like a great host, I genuinely like being invited to stuff. Making new friends as an adult is a Herculean task. I can't even lie. I don't think I've made a new friend in the last 6 months. Uh, it's crazy because where do you start? Do you want to make friends on the internet? Do you want to go out to make friends? I know it's difficult. I like to make new friends, but it's been very difficult for me to make friends, like new friends, in the last 6 months. And most of my close and old friends are scattered around the world. Then there's social media that gives us the illusion of being involved in people's lives. So even if you post that you're dealing with something, or you post that you're celebrating something, you feel like you're a part of your friend's life, when in reality you're not. You're just watching and having a glimpse of it. And I think social media gives us the illusion that we're closer to people, but we're really not. Because when you put down the phone, that's it. I miss being in the company of my friends. I miss cooking with my friends. I miss eating with my friends. I miss running errands with my friends. I miss helping my friend set up her apartment, helping my friend prepare for work in the morning. Like, these were the things I used to enjoy 3 or 4 years ago when my friends still lived really close to me. Then there's grief. If you're already feeling lonely, grief can feel 10 times heavier than it should be, especially when you don't have somebody to sort of share your life with. It's harder to navigate the feelings of losing someone, or losing a life that you thought that you have. It could be as simple as not getting the job that you wanted, or losing love, or losing a friend, or losing a family member, somebody that's close to you. I've had to deal with something very similar recently, and I must say that it just made me rely on my family a lot. So I spent the last couple of weeks really talking to my family. Because I live very far away from my family, I don't get to see them as much. I don't fully understand what it means for all of this time to have passed. Because for me, out of sight is out of mind. When I don't see people, I don't think that they exist. I don't know why that is, but I really spent a lot of time like calling back home, checking with my family, and just reminding myself that I'm not lonely. I might be alone, but I'm not lonely. So if you have the luxury of reaching out to your family, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, because I come from a very big family, so I called almost all my cousins, called my auntie, called my mom, called my dad, just like talk to them and get that reassurance that I am not alone. The truth is, loneliness and grief sort of feed into each other, and if you're dealing with both simultaneously, it can be very, very difficult to navigate. But I am all for figuring out ways to make things better for myself, and when I find those things, I absolutely love and want to share. I spent the last few days sick in bed, dealing with my period hormones, falling sick very quickly after, and then having to deal with the loss of a loved one. um whew, I'm sharing this because there might be somebody out there who needs to see this, hear this, or who's going through something that I'm going through, because I can relate to this. I recently just ended a 6-year long relationship, and if you've ever been with anyone that long, you know what it means to decide to be single. And I've been single for the past 6 months. I'm going to share the things that I have done to help me, and I hope that this helps somebody out there, anyone, even if it's just one person. So if you're watching this, please share to anyone who you know that is dealing with loss, grief, loneliness, or just like figuring out how to navigate all of those emotions by themselves. Okay, first step is to name the emotion, identify it and name it. Admit it and say it out loud. I feel lonely, because loneliness is not something that you should be ashamed of. And I know that it's been stigmatized, like it's a feeling and an emotion that has been stigmatized, but it is a feeling regardless. Like, it's normal, it's completely human to feel that way. So say it out loud. I feel lonely. Admit it to your close friends that you can trust. Admit it to your family that you can trust. That, oh, mommy, daddy, I feel lonely sometimes. Oh, hi, my friend, are you busy? Because I feel lonely in this moment and I wish I had somebody to share my time and my space with. You can speak to a licensed therapist if you can afford it, or you can journal, which is something that I do a lot. Write about your feelings, or you're feeling lonely at the moment, because it's a feeling that will pass eventually if you sit with it, identify it, and work through it. Your journal prompt can be, oh, I feel lonely at the moment. Why do you feel lonely? What is making you feel this way? What do you think is missing from your life right now? What do you think would make you feel better if you had it? What do you think would cheer you up if you had it? Reframing and allowing space for growth. If you see your loneliness as the final destination, it can be a bit detrimental. But if you see it as something that is temporary and can pass, then you can sit with it a little longer and be like, okay, I'm feeling lonely now, but it's not the end of the world. It is just me being lonely in this moment, and I can pull through this and work through this and feel better if I spend time with people, or when I spend time with people, or when I even go out for a walk and take a walk in the sun, do something nice for someone else. That might make me feel better. That might make you feel better. And that also reminds you to value the connection that you have to others. And it also reminds you to value the connection that you have to yourself. If you can, do something nice for yourself. For me, when I'm feeling lonely, I journal a lot, and journaling helps me really process my emotions. I reach out to my friends. I say, hi, I'm planning something. Do you want to join me? And if you don't get anybody to join you, I think the next best thing to do is to make that little thing special. How do they say it? Romanticize it. So I started doing something, a little tradition that I call movie night. I do it every weekend. I invited a friend recently because I was feeling lonely, but they couldn't make it. So I took an everything shower. I brought out one of my favorite candles, my Jackie candle. I burned my favorite candle. I got myself some food. I put on a beautiful night dress and a robe. And I just spent time with myself, because spending time with yourself is important too. Again, it is just a phase, and eventually it is going to pass. I promise you. Your friend will show up, even if they're not available to show up this week, they will show up next week or whenever they can. And if you feel like there's something that is missing, or a space that's missing from your life, then create a special place for people. I'm terrible at hosting, so what I decided to do is to host one friend per week, so I don't feel overwhelmed. If you want to start a book club, or if you're interested in book clubs, start one and ask people to join you. If you feel like something is missing and someone else is not available to do the thing, I think you should take it upon yourself to do it. Join a run club, go to the gym, make friends at the gym. I'm saying this to you, and I'm also saying this to myself. If you're in your late 20s, early 20s, and you're feeling alone, or you're feeling left behind, or you feel like you're dealing with something that nobody else understands, I am here to remind you that you are not alone. There are lots of us who are also dealing with these emotions. Even if people don't talk about it that much, people are dealing with a lot of different things. Because people post only like the happy moments or the happy reels on social media, people are dealing with this same emotions, or these same emotions that you're dealing with. It doesn't make you broken. It doesn't make you less deserving of love. It doesn't make you less of a human being. Loneliness is a human emotion, and it is just a phase. I promise you, it gets better. So whenever you find yourself feeling down, feeling bad, I want you to sit with those emotions, because they are negative emotions, quite all right, but they do not define you or your worth. So please, please, please take it one day at a time. Put one foot in front of the other. Keep the promises that you make to yourself. Show up for yourself. Show up for your friends when you can. And when you can't, let them know why you're not able to show up for them. I promise you, your friends love you. Your family loves you. You should love you. Okay? because you cannot pour out of an empty cup. I'd love to hear from you as well. So please tell me in the comments how you've dealt with grief or feelings of loneliness in the past, or if you're currently dealing with it in the present, and if this video has in any way helped you. If this reaches anybody that needs it, your time alone is not a death sentence. Your time alone is for you to figure out who you are, what you want, and to build the life of your dreams, the life that you deserve. That is what your time alone is for. It's not for moping and feeling bad. You can make time for that. You can feel bad, but not for long, honey. Pick yourself up and keep it moving. All right? I love you. You're doing an amazing job, and I will see you in the next vlog.